Hey, what's up guys? 10 ways to become rich in Runescape. I think this video is going to be very helpful, definitely different than other moneymakers. Like, it's not going to be go do this for 500k, go do this for 1 mil. It's going to be more of an overall like advice of how I turned, 500 mil a year and a half ago to about 4 bill bank. And since we haven't done a giveaway in about 2 months, plus, I'm pretty loaded, so we're going to do a big ass giveaway. I'll be picking 2 players, possibly 3, if, this video gets a lot of entries and whatnot. But yeah, guys, just leave your RSN and comment what you've been doing for gold lately and like the video. Let's get into it, guys. Hopefully you do enjoy. And again, I honestly think this money making video is going to make you completely rich compared to some other videos, which will just tell you to, do this for $1 million an hour, do this for 750k. I think this is going to be very valuable, so check it out. Alright, so starting off at number 1, calculate the hours versus the gold. Imagine this, you go and woodcut for 100 hours, but you go cut U-logs, you'd be getting about 50k gold an hour and 30k XP. What if you cut teak trees instead, which you could get easily 90k XP an hour, but you get no gold because you'd be dropping the logs, so that's 3 times faster with no gold. But then you could put all that extra hours into go killing gargoyles, maybe doing Zulrah, or even just doing Slayer or training something that can make you some money. I would always spend the most money and go with the quickest methods on anything to do with skilling. And you got to think about your life as well. Do you really want to sit there cutting yew trees for 100 hours? So it's in the grand perspective. I think you could save a lot of time and make a lot more money if you had a different mindset when approaching some of these different, skills. Another example would be rune crafting lava runes all the way to 91 rune crafting, to get double nats, versus just doing single nats all the way to 91 and then unlocking the double, which is definitely what some people do. If you were to runecraft lava runes, it's about 60k XP an hour, but you lose around 200k gold an hour. Although with the nature runes, it's about 25k XP. We'll say 30k tops, and you make about 400 to 500k. So if you did the lava runes for 50 hours, it would be the same as doing the nature runes for 100 hours, and while doing the nats, you'd make 50 mil GP, which is quite a bit, honestly. But if you had Zulrah unlocked, you could easily make 2 to 3 mil an hour, so with that 50 hours of time, you could get 100 to 150 mil. Definitely a little confusing, and maybe some new players might not be thinking this far, but if you end up playing RuneScape for 6 months or a year, this type of stuff is gonna, turn you from a level 100 to a level 120. Alright, moving on to the second tip, you would definitely want to get a second account. This is going to help you out so much. If you were to be free to play when watching this, I highly suggest just get membership, honestly, or like steal your mom's credit card, do something like that, and then get a bond for your second account. If you were just to do like Wines of Zami, you could get like 200-300k an hour, which would mean in 10 hours you could easily pay off that bond, and that's a whole 2 weeks of gaming. If you train this alternative account on the side of your main for a month or 2, you could easily get it to like 100 combat and possibly 75 slayer, which would allow you to get like a a mil an hour, 750k an hour doing gargoyles, which is amazing gold right there. Or you could even step it up and do rune dragons, do corp, do something pretty crazy while you even skill. Alright, moving on to the third tip, I would do daily staff runs and like 5 birdhouse runs and 5 farm runs every single day, and the gold will really add up. If we just take a look at the Varrock staff shop, which you'd want to talk to Zaf, and he gives you a 1k discount. You don't get a free staff, it's 1k, but if you do the easy, medium, hard, and elite Varrock diaries, you would then get 30, 60, 90, and 120 staffs per day with the 1k discount. So if you got the elite done, you'd be getting like 120k per day. It literally takes you 1 second to talk to him and claim the staffs. That's insane. Nowadays with the ultra compost, you can easily make about 150 to 250k a farm run if you pick the correct seed, which is honestly mind-blowing. Considering farm runs take like 5 to 7 minutes, you can definitely make some good gold per day, around a mil plus. I would also suggest doing birdhouse runs. I actually just uploaded a video of me doing like 200 birdhouse runs roughly. I opened like 3,000 nests. It was definitely insane. I got a lot of fuck. But yeah, definitely do that every single day. You can make 2 mil in a week or so, easy. Get your Nightmare Zone herb boxes if you guys aren't doing that. But then again, if you guys don't have all your rings imbued, I would get those imbued first, and then have all your excess points go into the herb boxes. The herb boxes are roughly 10k each. You can get 15 per day, so that's 4.5 mil a month. And then like I just said, if you had a second account, that's 9 mil a month. And then times a year, that you're looking at over 100 mil. That is insane. Definitely start doing this, guys. Alright, moving on to the next one, a simple one, but it's a big deal. You know, many of us don't have a lot of hours to play, I'm not gonna lie. Like, we have 2, maybe 3 hours a day to play, and I see so many players just sitting around and like standing and bank stalling and not knowing what to do, or they're chatting with their friends, which is cool. You know, I definitely, you know, agree you guys should do that, but maybe try and join a clan chat or something, because people are just sitting there for like an hour at the G. I'll go and do something, and then I'll come back, you know, an hour later, and they're still sitting there, and I'm just like, I'm just mind blown, honestly. I don't know what they're doing. I would say getting 99 strength takes about, you know, 120 to 130 hours. So if you were to sit around just 1 hour every day for 4 months, you're literally giving up a 99 skill cape, which, you know, I'm not trying to be all nerdy and stuff, but like, you know, you might as well do something with that 1 hour if you are logged in. Alright, tip number 5, always try to watch every single live stream that you can. Now, I'm sure that many of you guys know that Jagex does an hour live stream every week on Twitch, and they give away a lot of valuable info, and it's super cool meeting other JMods, seeing what they're doing with the game, and you know, what's to come. They normally give a lot of info of what quests are to come, what bosses, and you know, the new updates, and if you get your stats ready and you prepare, you can make a lot of freaking gold, being one of the first, so you know, the certain items. For example, the Revenant update, the new crossbow is like 350 to 400 mil, and the chain mace was 250 mil. If you had your stats ready, you were ready to do revenants, and you know, that was your mindset, you would make so much bank if you started from the first day. And even raids too. Of course, that's an extreme hard PVM challenge, but if you had the stats ready, maybe you focused and worked on your PVM skill about a month before, you can make a lot of freaking gold, because the rapier is like 400 mil now, and I easily remember when it was 1.5 bill. So yeah, you would have made 3 times as much gold. I've uploaded a handful of merch and flip videos. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably how I make most of my gold nowadays, and especially with you know, working part-time and doing a lot of YouTubing and editing, I don't get to play in PVM and make gold as much as I wish. So having a large cash stack and just investing and, you know, doing a flip run every couple like hours or something is insane. I go to sleep and I plug in all my offers before I go to sleep. Of course, I wake up and everything is green. It is the best feeling. Sometimes I've made 10 to 15 to 30 to 50 mil overnight, and it's so freaking great. I would definitely suggest it, guys. Please start doing flip runs, better than farm runs, better than anything, and once you start, you know, getting skilled with it, you will see how good it is. Any type of number honestly works. If I had 1 mil cash, I would start flipping like Zamorak coifs and a whole bunch of clue scroll items and just weird funky stuff like that. You could easily make 30k just on a simple item like that, and honestly start stacking up the gold. I would also really suggest checking out GE Tracker, reference link down below. It's roughly $2.40 USD a month, and there's so much features, man. It's so freaking worth it. Like, you're scamming yourself if you don't get it, honestly. Alright, so this tip could be a little bit controversial, but I do stand behind it. Stick to one thing and then move on to the next. I see so many players, like maybe with all 60 stats, or maybe they're just trying to do some boss but they're not very good at it, and then they move on to the next one that they're not very good at, and they never become a master of a certain boss and get the pet or whatever it may be. You really got to ask yourself, would you rather have all 60 stats, or would you rather have all 50 stats but have one stat be like 91 rune crafting, which you can make 1 mil an hour? I mean, 50 wood cutting, you're going to be cutting willows for like 50k an hour max. So there's just no gold unless you know, master out one skill, one boss, and you get really good at it and high level. Another great example is PKing. You know, we see players that have max gear in the deep wild, and they're honestly just killing people all day for whips and berserker rings and, you know, full barrels, all that good stuff. And then on the flip side, we see players that are in like, you know, green salad robes, the Xerxian, maybe Mystic, and they don't have hotkeys, and they're just getting wrecked. They're probably losing like 500k every time they die. They never get kills, so you could lose money.
On the tube, told them wait, yeah. Body's business shit, that's not up for debating. So I hold it down for my damn team. Body boys when I walk in, smoke a black in my white tee. Throw it back when I'm coughing. Money made on that boss shit. Top 2, not top 10, that's top tier K dot shit. Yeah, run it up, ayy, pack flip, yeah. Run it up, ayy, pack flip, yeah. Run it up, run it up, run it up. Run it up and make the pack flip. I've been fucking with a bad bitch. I've been fucking with a bad one, and I never really had shit. Run it up, ayy, pack flip, yeah. Run it up, ayy, pack flip. Ayy, when you get passed up, say someone gets passed up. Puffing Dutchies in a glass blunt. Nothing stunting on my last one. Nothing stunting.
So yeah, if you're kind of a skiller, kind of a PKer, kind of a PVMer, you're just gonna kind of be a loser, to be honest, versus, you know, you being like the best at one thing. You're just gonna make bank. Coming up to one of the last tips, a very simple one but very impactful: do not stake. With the new staking tax, of course, it's more of a reason to never stake, because, you know, if you do like 100 mil stake, it's a 1% chance off, so you're just gonna lose so much money in the long term if you keep staking. It's not, you know, in your favor anymore, to be honest. But yeah, I've seen so many players and good friends have 1 bill bank, 700 mil, and the next day they're like, dude, I got clean, I'm at 20 mil, and they're begging me. It's kind of annoying, it's kind of pathetic, and it's really just sad. It's really just sad. I feel so bad for them. And then of course, on the flip side, there's the people that have 50 mil, and then they turn that into 2 bill overnight, and they can buy everything they need, which I guess is awesome, but like, they just got so much free hours handed to them, and the game, it just doesn't feel the same. Like, you would never go and do bandos because you could just go stake for that quick gold. I remember back in 8th grade, I got to an 8 bill bank from staking, and I had 100 mil starting. It happened in like within a month, and I was so jacked. And at the end of it, I was just sitting there with party hats and like Third Age and Torva, and I would never actually go and do anything because I was so rich. Like, what would be the point of going and killing Arma for 50 hours trying to get a drop or two when, you know, you could just stake and win 100 mil? So yeah, it really ruins your gameplay. Do not do it.
I love this thing. It's not as good as I thought though, because you really can't PK with it because nobody wants to fight you, but it's alright, I guess. Arcane, I like this a lot. Use it a decent amount of time. So and all the Halloween masks, and now to the good stuff. Alright, yeah. All in a week. I mean, I know I might not look that rich compared to like Win All Day and all that stuff, but I mean, this is...
Now this ties in with a previous tip about the live streams. I would definitely watch the live streams or just check out the Twitters and listen for rumors of updates and then invest. You can easily double your bank just investing, and it's no effort at all. Maybe you have an extra 30 mil laying around, you put them in the blowpipes, you put them in the scales, you put them into this, that, and they just rise within the next month, and you make absolute bank for doing nothing. If you're one of the first people to the party, you can make a lot of gold. I remember when the woodcutting guild came out, and a lot of players bought into dragon axes, and of course they skyrocketed, and players turned like 50k into 75k, which, you know, it might not seem like a lot, but what if you had 1,000 or maybe 2,000, 10,000? Another example is of the recent Revenant Caves. I invested quite a bit of gold into it. We're talking like 2 billion. And yeah, I knew ZGSs would be a big thing because all the clans like the multi-PK. I knew Elder Malls would be a thing because, you know, everyone wants the max hit and get the DPS and get the drop because there's so many people in there. Investing like this definitely takes a lot of gold, but then again, if you had 50 mil, you could park your gold into like some dragon darts, and then in a month or two they're double and you make 70 mil. And no doubt this is not a get rich quick, you know, it's gonna take you multiple months and maybe even a year of like doing multiple investing flips and getting them right, getting some wins, getting some gains on top of you bossing and PVMing. And yeah, I guarantee you put everything you've seen in this video to work, you will become rich. I promise you. Saving the best for the last, number 10, Kingdom of Miscellany. I honestly couldn't think of anything else, and it is pretty good, and it definitely is different than farm runs, birdhouse runs, and merch runs, all that type of stuff, because you'd want to stick in like, you know, maybe 5 mil and leave it for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then come back. And also a little tip, make sure you guys cut all your trees or like mine the coal and get the points before you go and check the thing, and it'll be as if you got 100% the whole time, so you don't have to go back every day and keep it high. I would say you could make a couple mil a month if you put your resources on the right items, and you know, they do fluctuate. Sometimes herbs could be quite a bit. I've seen mahogany logs as low as like 60 GP, but I've also seen them up to 400, 500. So if, you know, if they went to that, you'd put it on the mahogany logs. You really got to switch it up here and there, so check the prices before you do a long investment. There it is, guys, 10 tips on how to become rich in RS. Hopefully you did enjoy. Make sure you guys throw a like if you did, and subscribe if you're new. I've been very busy, and I thought I'd put out, you know, just a simple kind of talking video while I'm working on some content. I'm actually making a Scold Green Dragon bot goes PKing. Like, it's a really good video. I've gotten some awesome clips for it, and I am setting up the live stream. I'm probably actually gonna like disconnect my computer for about 2 or 3 days and try and build it up again and get the live stream ready. So yeah, hopefully you guys are ready for that. Definitely go throw it a follow. Have a good one, guys. See ya.
Smoking on that chronic, drinking old English, rags, tie, gang sign, letters on my